When summer rolls around each year, I am constantly locked indoors with no way to really enjoy the day unless it's raining due to my hay fever, and this limits my options of what I can do in my spare time. So my main focus with June was to finish off some games I had started. Early in the month I hard focused Final Fantasy XVI, as every time I played it I was overwhelmed with how much fun I was having. Clive's journey to uncover the truth of what's going on and fighting to break the shackles of fate was everything I wanted it to be. Obviously I'm being vague, but that ends up being how the game's story plays out. While not every moment through my 100-hour playthrough was the highest of highs, the game kept me captivated and interested in seeing where the next plot point would take me, in terms of the narrative and locations. This game is filled with diverse locales that are beautiful to look at and explore. Now I would be a liar if I didn't straight up admit that the reason this game had me hooked for so long was the combat. It feels like Final Fantasy replicates what Devil May Cry brings to the table, and while it isn't as advanced in comparison, it fits more to what Final Fantasy is as a franchise. Final Fantasy XVI may have taken over half a year for me to finally roll credits on, but without a shadow of a doubt was well worth the time and effort that I put into the game. Tannenberg is a game a few people noticed I was playing and was very confused at, as it doesn't fit the normal kind of shooters I would play. But that was kind of the point. I was feeling like shooters I was playing were getting stale, so I booted up a World War I game and went and fought against mainly bots, it would seem. I feel there is likely prime times I was missing, but most people I saw in one game was about 7 split between 2 teams. This was fine as it was something that I just wanted to pick up and have a mess about with, but I ended up playing for like 3 nights and I would boot it up and fight through the trenches, fields and forests to overpower the enemy side, while ticking off some achievements as I did. I haven't really been interested in historical battles since I was in school and far less interested in playing them out in games, but Tannenberg was a fun and chill change of pace before I decided to jump into the next game. Deadlink on the other hand is something anyone I know would expect me to play, with its fast-paced roguelike elements that leave you to tear a path through each room, gaining upgrades across your weapons and abilities. With every run is a chance to try out new shell combos with new build variants and upgrades that can turn a rocky start into an overpowered massacre across 4 locations and a handful of enemy variations. I enjoyed myself for the hours that I played and really got stuck into trying to find a way to turn standard upgrades into elemental powerhouses that stacked quickly and inflicted high tick damage. Roguelikes and roguelites are always a blast as you just throw them on and do a few runs before coming off and doing whatever else, and Deadlink is no exception to that. From start to finish, Space Marines 2 carries itself as this hulking monstrosity of a game that never takes a break in terms of its design. Every moment is presented with a level of magnitude that feels missing in a lot of games. The world isn't just bombastically detailed but flooded with creatures and allies fighting to the death in a war you can shift the tide in. This fever dream of a war feels unreal to take part in as you slaughter through thousands with few moments to catch your breath. Each encounter is blessed with brutal combat and visceral executions that perfectly display the power of a Space Marine when present in battles. There is so much to gush over with this game. The fact everything you're fighting is rendered in front of you in real time, it feels like magic seeing all standing before you in its corrupted glory. Or the fact that the weight of everything you do is portrayed so accurately. You're a monster of a man encased in power armor, with every step you take trudging through the dirt, or that echoes through hallways. With every melee strike or enemy crush, you feel like an unstoppable force in most encounters you take part in, regardless of the numbers. Space Marine 2 was insanely good, and was my second game this month that I decided to finish after starting it last year. What Rematch brings to the table is my preferred style of football. It's quick, it's back and forth, 1-2s and aggressive presses on creating scoring opportunities. With cards removed from the game, there is no punishment for aggressive tackles. It really takes that street style football of hard knocks and nippy movement and throws it onto the pitch. From the matches I played, I had fun being a playmaker or even just being the man that held back in case of a counter attack. Now in theory this should be a perfect football game for me. It reminds me of Galactic Football, something I've not watched in so long, but this game legit feels like Blue Lock in terms of everyone's just in their ego era as they try dribble through everyone and make the play of the match. Nothing wrong with that at all, but it really didn't suit my playstyle, as for me I was playing as a team and a lot of players I played with didn't share this mindset. They would rather lose chasing a goal than pass and win. Just to be clear, I don't even mean passing to me. I ain't good at the game, but passing would have yielded more wins than not. It's a fun game for sure, but I would definitely recommend playing it with friends. The Dead as Disco demo was incredible. I even spoke about it briefly in this video if you want to hear more about it, but I will say I didn't dump tons of hours into this game, and that's mainly because I want to be obsessed with it on full release. This vibrant beat 'em up game that works on beat with the music you listen to is tuned to perfection. Hits, dodges, counters and takedowns all flow easily as the soundtrack plays. You can also import your own soundtrack and fire away song after song. I'm not going to gush over this game too much, but personally I am 100% getting this game day one, as it blends combat and music together in a way I've only dreamt about. Balatro somehow hits this sweet spot of addiction when it comes to gameplay. Whether you're a poker master or completely unaware of how to play, Balatro doesn't judge and sends you in to play and learn on the fly in this deck building roguelike. I'd throw it on for a run and have a blast figuring out how to best rack up high scores to win, and 4 hours would have passed. This happened to me on 3 separate occasions, and while I was shocked at how the hours had flown by, this simple looking card game had me smiling and chasing success with every hand without really caring for anything else. Now the reason I use the word addiction is because it's not in your face trying to keep its clutches in you, to mesmerize you to play it more. It simply just takes those hours from you without a single care of what you're doing. Balatro's Joker system and deck building mechanics feel perfectly crafted to rob people of their time and having us smiling for the inconvenience. With such a simple style and easy to navigate UI, it's no surprise Balatro was in the conversation for Game of the Year in 2024. And that was June. Some games from my backlog cleared up, random dabbles in other stuff, and trying some games on Game Pass. It was a mixed bag, but I enjoyed just taking a step back from what I normally play and focusing stuff that caught my attention in the moment, and clearing up some games that I should have finished months ago. Summer is here, and what better time to tackle the backlog than now. Thank you for enduring my nasally congestion and voice changing throughout this video. It's summer and this is very normal for me. My voice will come and go, and yeah, I just really appreciate it. Anyway, I hope you have a lovely day and or evening, and I'll catch you next time.